Everyone's favorite Nevermore pupil, Wednesday Addams, puts up a good front that she has no weaknesses. But we know her better than that, even if she's been with us for just one season. So what are the weaknesses she doesn't want us to know, and how do we know her so well? Watch the video to the end to find out. First up, what are Wednesday's weaknesses? Or actually, does she even have any? We know that's the question you want to ask, but as we told you, we know the girl pretty well now, and as far as we can tell, she's got all the weaknesses teenagers have. Even more considering how much of an outcast she is. Oh, we get it. She loves being that. That doesn't mean she's ready to embrace her life in Nevermore though. In fact, ever since she left her cushy mansion and entered those historic gates, she raised her walls right up just so people could stay away from her. Little did she know that her friends, yeah, can you imagine her having friends, would figure out her weaknesses and open her up to new experiences. But enough about what she experienced. Let's get to those weaknesses we've been rambling about and see what Wednesday has been trying to hide behind her unblinking eyes all along. Starting with her psychic powers. If you think the world wasn't ready for Wednesday's psychic powers, don't even get us started on how prepared she herself was. Because even though those powers led her to attack her brother's bullies with the best revenge known to mankind, she still wasn't ready to embrace them. In fact, for the longest time, Wednesday thought she was going mad. Plus, she didn't even know how to use her powers, let alone control them. She actually had to ask her mom, which we're pretty sure was the last thing she wanted to do. So yeah, when it comes to the list of her weaknesses, Wednesday's powers were actually a threat to her sanity before they became her biggest strength. But shush, don't tell her you knew that. Moving on, her uncontrollable impulses. To be an Addams is strange enough, but does Wednesday have to be the most impulsive one? That alone makes her a danger to herself. She's an amateur sleuth, can be found in the weirdest places, usually among monsters, and hides, and can be sus. Like, we get you, Wednesday, you're a rebel, but do you have to rebel this hard? Next, her cold independence. Hello Xavier Thorpe and everyone else out there, let us tell you loud and clear, Wednesday does not need your help. Sure, she may have been attacked by a reincarnated spirit who was about to burn down her school, but hey, don't you dare even suggest helping her, cause she needs nobody. This is precisely why this need to be independent is a huge weakness for her. Combine this with her rebellion and you have a walking, talking, unblinking time bomb of a girl who's always ready to fight. Only, does she really have to have her claws out all the time? Chill out for one, girl. Nevermore isn't that dangerous. Anymore, at least. Also, her fear of being alone. Now, Wednesday may have you thinking she's the perfect lone wolf who doesn't need anyone around her, but the truth is, she's actually a lot more fearful of being alone. Remember when Enid asked to transfer her room entirely? Wednesday was pretty miffed after that, even though she didn't show it. But joining the school made her realize another of her greatest weaknesses, that she needs to have friends and family around her, even if it's thing. Wednesday may be a lone wolf, alright, but having people around her makes her all the more fun. It brings the snarky, sarcastic, and smart girl out of her shell, who may hate people, but can really love her friends and family. And trust us, she hates that. Let's not forget her big heart. Again, don't fall for those cold eyes and that blank expression. The girl's got a heart of gold beneath that hard exterior, and we see that when Eugene gets attacked by the monster. She really tries not to show her emotions when he's around or when he's gushing about his bees, but we get to see her big heart when he's in the hospital. Not only does she sit by him and take him some gifts, but she's also always aware of how much pain he's probably in and wants to avenge him right there. Now, you may think this one's a strength instead of a weakness, but until Wednesday can't actually admit that she cares about people, it's going to be her flaw and hurt everyone around her, especially when she decides to act colder than how she feels. Hey, we love you, girl, but you gotta make the people you love feel special. Now, there's also her self-doubt. As brilliant as Wednesday is, her self-doubt really hinders her character growth. Like, girl, if you're so independent, why are you doubting yourself so much? Whether it's when Eugene gets attacked or when her father gets arrested, Wednesday goes down a spiral of doubt, where there are moments you don't even believe it's the same girl who claims she's all heartless and cruel. And it honestly didn't seem like the girl who did that crazy dance at the party. That girl was super confident, unlike Jenna Ortega, who got pretty insecure after filming it. But anyway, you get it, right? Wednesday's self-doubt changes her entire personality, and in order to appear tougher, she becomes downright rude, taking away all the good things about her. There's also a time in the show when she thinks she's going crazy with her powers and doesn't want to explore them further. So you see, even though Wednesday really puts up a great front of being the strongest one out there, she really needs to work on that self-doubt of hers. After that comes her family. Okay, who doesn't consider family as their weakness? We're all protective of them and can do anything to keep our family family happy. But with the Addams family, the whole dynamic is totally different because these are a bunch of super strange and totally different people who love bloodbaths and don't shy away from keeping piranhas and decapitated hands as pets. So obviously, Wednesday would be even more protective of them, right? Only she doesn't show it, and that makes it super hard for her fam to reach out to help her. Honestly, if she hadn't made up with her mom and told her about her powers, how would she receive any help about controlling them? Honestly, we think Wednesday needs to open up to her family more because her aversion to them is simply keeping her from going full Addams. And trust us, if our dark heroine ever decides to embrace her full powers, she can definitely become the most powerful Addams of them all. So put your teenage angst aside, girl, and give your parents a hug already. Coming up, the entire Nevermore clique. Wednesday may have hated Nevermore, but we don't think she can ever live without them. At least now, when she's finally realized these people matter to her. But for the longest time, she considered her lack of empathy for these people her greatest strength. She's still got that streak of not caring about her colleagues when things become tough. Also, being in Nevermore brings out a very competitive side to her that's not always the healthiest. Remember her fencing match with Bianca and her whole violin stint when she was angry about the monster. Remember her insulting Enid throughout the show whenever she was angry and doubting Xavier even though the poor guy wasn't ever wrong. Yeah, weaknesses indeed. She may have started trusting a couple of these people, but as long as she doesn't let her schoolmates help her and doesn't catch them by surprise as she did when she decided to torture Tyler, she'll be weakened every step of the way. And you don't want that when you're trying to save your town and school from crazy monsters and undead leaders of the past, right? Wait up, so is Wednesday just a teenager with a bunch of weaknesses? We won't say that. She's actually got a lot of strengths too, including her sleuthing skills, her ability to charm people when needed, and her intuition that led her to uncover the truth once and for all. She's also got one more strength, which has always helped her express actual emotions, going so far as to make her cry. Can you guess what that is? Coming up, here's why Wednesday actually cried. Because of Thing, guys. The only time she cries on the show is when Thing is attacked, and that's just heartbreaking. But the fact that she thinks objectively and makes it to Uncle Fester before anything else happens to Thing is what makes her a super strong person. Not to forget, she actually becomes a lot more resolute when she faces the possibility of losing Thing. That means she loves the decapitated weirdo quite a lot. Yes, we say love and not reluctant tolerance because, guys, Wednesday really does adore that lovable appendage. Remember her smile when she saw him at Nevermore. We hadn't seen her that happy except for when she launched her piranha attack on the boys. Yes, there really are things that she's fond of, only she really doesn't want to show what they are. Finally, so Thing is Wednesday's strength. Yes, as long as she's keeping her impulsiveness and stubbornness in check and actually expressing her emotions for Thing. In fact, both the characters have actually got a very sibling-like bond, which is probably why her parents send Thing to her. They know it's qualified enough to take care of her. If only she could put her tough persona aside to actually embrace her other strengths too, right? Because in between her love for all things macabre and her need to be in the center of every chaos, she definitely needs to work on her weaknesses so she doesn't get killed. Or worse, expelled. But hey, let's not forget that she's a teenager, even if a totally different one from her peers. So we have a lot of growth to see on her part. Plus, these weaknesses make her human, which is probably why everyone got so attached to her right away. So yeah, we'll take this one, Addams, weaknesses or not. We just hope she brings out some more crazy dance moves in the next season too. Because if anything, those are a strength we'd love to have too. That's a wrap for this video. How accurate are we about Wednesday's weaknesses though? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.